Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So I will read from 71 to 77 together.
Yeah, they will have to speak aloud.
In yuha ilayya illa annama ana nazirun mubin. Iz qala rabbuka lil malaikati inni khaliqun basharan min teen. فإذا سويته ونفخت فيه من روحي فقعوا ساجدين فسجد الملائكة كلهم أجمعون إلا إبليس استكبر وكان من الكافرين قال يا إبليس ما منعك أن تسجد لما خلقت بيدي أستكبرت أم كنت من العالين قال أنا خير منه خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. The translation is, but when thy Lord said to the angels, I am about to create man from clay, and so when I have fashioned him in perfection and have breathed into him of my spirit, fall ye down in submission to him. So the angels submitted, all of them together. But Iblis did not. He behaved proudly and was of those who disbelieved. God said, O Iblis, what hindered thee from submitting to what I have created with my two hands? Is it that thou art too proud, or art thou really of the exalted ones? He said, I am better than he. Thou hast created me of fire, and him hast thou created of clay.
Would you please put some more light on? I understood Iblis existed before man was created from these verses. And is there any significance in which form he was existed before the man was created? And secondly, which significance is in this that they should prostrate before the man? If you could,
yes, I
put some more
understand the
light on
question.
this.
This question requires two different vantage points. To understand the nature of Iblis and Satan, in this case both are one or the other, the same thing in fact. First of all, remember that Shaitan or Iblis are mentioned to have been created by fire. And according to the scientists, there are certain types of organisms which were created directly by fire, much before the beginning of life took place. The life we know is completely different from the life of that organism which was created out of fire. The generations of that organisms are still enemies of man. All the viruses and all the bacteria which destroy our health, which sit in our bowels and this and that, create so many problems for humans and do not follow the will of the humans. You have to fight continuously for retaining your health and superiority over them. But they will not bow. They will not prostrate. They will be made to bow. So these are the forms of Iblis which actually occurred long before, very long before the creation of life on earth. That life on earth which ultimately resulted in the creation of man. See? So the Quran is a very scientific book. It speaks of minute things in a language which may not be understood by the people of an age. But Allah does not care, because the Quran is for all ages. So Allah knows that an age will dawn when people will begin to understand the true meaning of these verses. But still, there is an other connotation of the same verse which even non-scientists can understand. And that is apparent. For instance, in this case, the fire will mean the fiery nature, rebellious nature, the destructive nature. Because anything made out of clay and water is productive. All green foliage, all forms of life owe their existence to clay and water. But fire burns them. Fire disintegrates whatever is created by them. So there is a constant fight between the life which originated from green foliage and the anti-life forces of disintegration which are fiery in nature. So this is evident from our observation of whatever is happening in the world. When the jungle's great woods catch fire, all that is created by the green foliage is destroyed. But then they ultimately win. The fire is over and they come out of the soil once again. So this is the continuous fight between good and evil. And secondly, this verse speaks of the spiritual phenomenon in the sense that Satan or Iblis have a fiery nature. They will not submit to the authority of God when it is bestowed upon man. They are bound to rebel against that authority. And this is what we observe right from the beginning of the time. This is exactly what happens. Here the authority is mentioned in this verse with reference to وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي, which means when I breathe into him my amr. Kul ruho min amri rabbi. So ruh is amr, and it is the amr which creates prophets and messengers of Allah. So it's a beautiful expression of the Quran. It says, do not follow Adam until I have breathed into him my amr, my authority. When I authorize him, then you must fall prostrate. So they will not, whoever does, will not prostrate before Adam, but because he was even before this authority, they actually prostrate before the authority of God. So there is no shirk involved at all. Understand? Mention here the verse مَارِجٍ مِّن نَارٍ وَمِن قَبْلِهِ وَخَلَقَ الْجَانَّ مِن قَبْلِهِ وَالْجَانَّ خَلَقْنَاهُ مِن قَبْلِهِ مِن مَارِجٍ مِّن نَارٍ بھی ہے مِن نَارِ السَّمُومِ as well as مِن مَارِجٍ مِّن نَار. It was this to which I refer. The scientists has really discovered that it actually happened. They were created, the forms of some organisms were created by the blasts of fire from heaven. Created by intense radiation blasts which came down from the cosmos.
This is ayat number 16 in Surah Ar-Rahman, chapter 54. It says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Khalaqal insana min salsalin kal fakhare wa khalaqal janna min marijin min nar.
And min qablih bhi hai.
जी वो दूसरी है.
In the second place it says min qablihi.
Yeah.
In Nari Samum, I think.
15, 28. The other one is وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ صَلْصَالٍ مِنْ حَمَإٍ مَسْنُونٍ وَالْجَانَّ خَلَقْنَاهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ مِنْ نَارِ السَّمُومِ.
See?
This is verse number 27 and 28 of Surah Al-Hijr, chapter 15.
Min qablu min Nari Samum. That's right.